Good day, people of YouTube. What's going on? It is Extreme Azure here again today for my very first discussion video of 2016. And it's actually been a while since I uploaded one of these, basically since I think it was October was the last time I actually uploaded one of these. So yeah, it has been a while. But yeah, I'm back again, and I think I should be a little more regular this time. So much stuff have happened, and mainly dealing with the fact that I don't do a lot of videos anymore is because I mostly do all of my ranting. Well, I guess I shouldn't say ranting, but I mostly do all my opinion pieces on the website that I work for, NintendoEnthusiast.com. I'm gonna put a few links down in the description of some of the articles that I've recently done, but that's the main reason why I don't do a lot of videos anymore. You know, they take a little more time to make than just, you know, going ahead and posting an article. So I'll put that link down in the description for you guys to check out, and I hope you have a nice read. But I'm gonna try and do a little more videos, you know, to keep the channel active, because I do like making videos. It's a very fun hobby. But anyway, enough with that. Of course, what I'm here to talk about today is the Nintendo NX. Now, personally, I am so sick and tired of hearing that name, you know, NX. And the main reason why I'm so tired of it is because, like, it's like, wow, you know, Satoru Iwata, may he rest in peace, but when he went ahead and announced the existence of the system last spring, it was almost 1 year ago that we first heard about the NX. It was at investors briefing last spring, and ever since then, it's like the industry has been on a constant run with NX. Any little thing, like whether it's a patent illustration, whether it's a little vague detail from Nintendo, every little thing, whether it's, and so many rumors, you know, everything surrounding this thing has been talked about to death. I mean, sites will just report it in a minute, like you'd see on places like IGN or GameSpot, you know, other popular websites. As soon as these rumors come out, it just bam, up on the headlines, front page of websites like N4G. You know, that's a hub for major game news. So yeah, it is literally everywhere. And you know, with all this talk about it, you know, I've seen people give so many different opinions from so many different viewpoints. Even though there is a variety of different opinions, what it all boils down to is the fact that seems to be like the general idea. You know, people think that Nintendo needs to just hurry up, release the system, you know, make sure it's powerful, make sure it's traditional, no silly gimmicks, you know, I'm quoting here, you know, no silly gimmicks or whatever, just try and be innovative, just make a nice, powerful console that's easy to develop for, that can stand up to the PlayStation and Xbox, that will attract third-party systems, and boom, you know, you have yourself a guaranteed success. And while I would like to see that, at the same time, I don't necessarily think it's going to happen that way. Now, the reason why I say this is because, okay, yes, you know, the NX can definitely be a very powerful system. You know, Nintendo has spent the last 2 generations going completely against the industry. You know, the Wii and the DS, you know, they were weird, they were unorthodox, you know, they were made to be affordable systems that focused on, you know, attracting the most amount of people as possible, and that paid off. You know, they spent the greater half of their years selling like hotcakes. They were the 2 best-selling systems ever, and they are the DS is the second best, well, they were the 2 best-selling systems of the generation, and the DS was the second best-selling system in history, and the Wii was the third, you know, both of them falling just behind PlayStation 2. So, you know, it worked out for Nintendo. They made a whole lot of money. So they tried to come again this generation and replicate that with the 3DS and the Wii U. But unfortunately, the industry has changed. You know, it worked for them in the past, but as they say, you know, lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. And that's obviously happened with Nintendo here with this generation, because both the 3DS and the Wii U will not be nearly as successful as their predecessors and have been selling much less. However, even though they haven't been as successful, that doesn't mean that they're failures. You know, the 3DS is still the best-selling 8th generation system so far. PS4 may surpass it, but by itself, it's still done pretty good, you know. And the Wii U, even though it has been the least selling 8th generation system, well, putting aside the Vita, but I should say the least selling 8th generation home console, Nintendo has still managed to make a profit off of the system. They broke even almost 2 years ago. People refuse to believe this, but Nintendo is actually making money off of the Wii U. You know, they just released their sales report at their investors briefing. You know, that happened, I think it was about a week ago, or close to 2 weeks ago. And if you see how many of their games have sold millions, and they've been making a profit. Even though the Wii U hardware hasn't been moving as fast as they wanted to, their software has been selling like wildfire. The attach rate for the Wii U games is absolutely amazing. And it just goes to show you that even though the console may not be in high demand, if the games are there, it will sell. It will go ahead and sell. And Nintendo, nope, almost, I shouldn't even say almost, pretty much nobody can beat Nintendo when it comes down to making games. That's just a well-known fact. You can't spin it any other way. Their game creation departments are amazing. When you have studios like Monolith Soft, Rare, Nintendo, EAD, those three teams are just, did I just say Rare? Sorry, Retro Studios. So Retro Studios, Monolith Soft, Nintendo EAD, and the rest of the studios that belong to them, you know, they're really, really good. And, you know, games like Splatoon, for instance, have gone ahead and sold a lot. You know, the Splatoon is actually one of the best-selling new IPs of this generation, and it's the highest-rated newest IP of this generation, beating the likes of Destiny and Titanfall, Drive Club, and other new IPs that have come out this generation, even though there haven't been that much anyway. But, you know, they've been doing pretty good, you know, not as good as last generation, but they've still managed to hang in there, which is definitely something that's very commendable. But of course, you know, this video is about the Nintendo NX, so I just did that little backstory on our current situation just to go into what's the deal with the NX. Now, I find it really amazing that there's so much discussion over something that we still know absolutely nothing about. Nintendo has made it very clear that they are not giving out any sort of details before they are ready to give it out. This is on a strictly need-to-know basis. Actually, one of the developers who were working on it, not a game developer, but someone who was actually, you know, helping with the creation of the system, said, I think it was either in his LinkedIn profile, something like that, but I'll put a link down below. But he said that, you know, he's been working on it since February of last year, and he says that Nintendo is so secretive about it that sometimes he doesn't even know exactly what he's working on. That's how secretive. So it just goes to show you that even people who are helping develop the system don't even know exactly what it is. So that just goes to show you that they are keeping this under wraps. You know, there are a bunch of different rumors, so much speculation, but as far as cold hard details go, we don't know what's true, we don't know what's false. There have just been 1,000,001 rumors, just raw speculation. But the situation that I have here is, like I said, you know, the general idea that's coming from people in the industry, you know, analysts, journalists, and of course core gamers. What people believe is that Nintendo needs to make, like I said earlier, a traditional, powerful system that's easy to develop for, that will attract third parties, and boom, profit. You know, it's going to be perfect. But what people aren't realizing is the fact that whether the NX launches this year, whether it launches next year, even 2018, they are in a very awkward position because the PlayStation 4, as we just found out a few days ago, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One's total sales combined equate to over 50 million. That is a lot of systems. Over 50 million, both of those systems install bases combined together. I think it's about 55 million, as according to like Ubisoft and EA, their sales reports. But 55 million. Okay, so let's just go with that figure. Right now, there are over 55 million other systems that are out on the market. So when the NX launches, let's just say it'll be somewhere between 60 and 70 million. So let's just go there. I'm just gonna go for the middle ground. Let's say when the NX launches, it should be approximately 65 million. How is Nintendo supposed to compete with that? Like, okay, you have what third parties are gonna see, even if the system is really powerful and really easy to develop for, third parties are looking at it like this. Okay, we have 65 million people on these two sides, and then we have 0 on this side, because when the NX launches, of course, it's going to be starting from ground zero. So third parties are immediately going to see, okay, where can I make more money? And this isn't even counting the PC crowd, which is very active, of course. So when you have that amount of competition, it's very easy to see where third parties are going to be likely to go. Third parties are going to go where the money is. When the Wii, even though the Wii was really weak compared to the 360 and PlayStation 3, third parties still brought we still got Call of Duty, we still got Need for Speed games on the Wii because the system was selling, and they figured, okay, well, you know, people are buying the system, let's just put our games on it anyway. Even though most of those ports were crap, they still brought it. Now with the Wii U, it's like, I don't think we can do that. Even though the system is way more powerful compared to its competition than the Wii was compared to its competition, you know, now all of a sudden they have excuses, all because the Wii U isn't selling. I'm pretty sure if the Wii U was selling just as good, if not just slightly under what the Wii was doing, third parties would have no problems bringing the majority of their games like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, and the rest of the usual multi-platform titles over to the Wii U, just because money is there. So with the NX, because there's so much years of third parties and Nintendo not getting along, I just don't see it automatically becoming a multi-platform powerhouse just because the system is powerful. Like that, it's very closed-minded to think that way. So really what I believe is that Nintendo is just going to have to start actually, you know, paying to have multi-platform games, even if the system is powerful, because third parties don't trust Nintendo's user base, because they think that we're not interested, and Nintendo's user base obviously just does not like third party. Well, I shouldn't say that. They don't like the way that they've been treated by third parties. You know, this generation has been the perfect example of how much animosity there is between the two. You know, look at the Wii U's first year. You know, you had EA was constantly, you know, just throwing insults at them. Third party company after third party company was saying, you know, we're not bringing our game to Wii U for whatever reason. You know, the system's too weak and blah blah blah. And then of course, you know, Ubisoft had that whole fiasco with Rayman Legends, you know, killing it off as an exclusive and then delaying it by 9 months just to release it on the new systems. And then they did the same thing with Watch Dogs, you know, delaying it, I think it was about 6 months. You know, because they needed to make some improvements to use the Wii U gamepads, even though they didn't. And then, of course, Slightly Mad Studios, something I've talked about many times before. You know, they spent over a year saying how powerful the Wii U was and how Project Cars is going to be the game to really show off the system's capabilities, only to finally say, you know, after not posting any screenshots, any gameplay clips, nothing, to say that, well, you know, the system just does not, it's just not good enough for our game, you know, it's just too weak. So when you see that kind of behavior, it's very easy to understand why Nintendo gamers usually just don't pay attention to third-party companies, especially when it comes up to multi-platform games. Exclusives are a different story, but multi-platform games is really it's a very weird, complicated situation that's existed since the days of the Nintendo 64, which was over 20 years ago. So with the NX, even if Nintendo makes it so where it can be a perfect place for developers, there still needs to be a kickstart to actually get the games on there, because third parties, they're looking at the PS4 and the Xbox One, and they're like, we have an established fan base here. We don't have an established fan base here. So are they going to be willing to bring their games over to the system? Who knows? If it's easy enough to develop for and it's not that expensive, they may just do it just to see how it goes. But you know, I just don't see it happening, at least to the level that it would need to be for where Nintendo can finally say we have really good third-party support. So this video is running kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here. But I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down below. That's the point of these discussion videos. Share your thoughts, and like I said, check out the articles that I've been writing on Nintendo Enthusiasts below, and just check out the website. We have a really awesome team filled with great content, so really hope you guys become a fan of the website. So until next time, guys, once again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.